Okay, it's Thorin here. I'm at the end of Dreamhack Summer, and I'm going to give you a rundown basically what happened in the CSGO tournament, because it was a very exciting tournament actually. Things started off really slow. We were expecting a lot more good teams to come, and some of them had to drop out last minute, school, roster changes, and so initially the group stage seemed a bit stunted actually. We had like some of the groups towards the end, you thought like, oh, it's going to be obvious who wins there. But first of all, I have to give credit to this no-name team called Flipside, who actually managed to beat Na'Vi, this team who made it to the final here. They beat them in the group stage. Admittedly, it was a bit of a fluke. Na'Vi played quite badly. There was a rematch between the two teams, and Na'Vi played them on the same map and just destroyed them completely. So it was kind of a good setup to see like, oh, okay, Na'Vi was just playing badly and they ramped it up a bit. When we got into the playoffs eventually, one of the key moments, I think, was actually when NIP played against Titan. These are the two teams who have the most history in the CSGO history. They played in finals over and over and over. Maybe Titan could beat them here and stop NIP's run to finals. They've been on 6 straight tournaments they've been in the finals. Instead, NIP prevailed again. In the semi-finals, NIP played against Hellraisers, and all the hype from all the other teams was like, oh, in practice, apparently this Hellraisers team is amazing, like they've got all the skill in the world, and NIP themselves looked a bit worried to face them. Well, they should have been, because it went full 3 maps, it went right to the end, but NIP prevailed, a very famous round actually by Freeberg, where he just decimated 4 of them, and that kind of like summed up that like, okay, NIP was getting better and better with each round, and they're going into the finals peaking. But in the final, they were going to face Na'Vi. This is the opponent who beat them in the Star Ladder series, which is the tournament before this, in Kiev, the home of Ukraine, the home of the Ukrainian team Na'Vi. So in the final, it was going to be a rematch. What could the Ukrainians do outside of Kiev this time? Was it only that arena they won in? Would NIP reclaim the title that they won a year before? Now, in the first map, it looked like NIP were just on cruise control. They destroyed them on the first map, Inferno, and everyone thought, okay, going into Train, maybe Na'Vi's not up to the task. Maybe they are only good in Kiev. NIP got their lead on Train, and suddenly now he started coming back, building rounds. It went to overtime. You thought everything has to be on Na'Vi's side here. They're going to push it to 3 maps and make it an epic. Instead, actually, NIP won a classic overtime battle. They reclaimed the Dreamhack Summer title. They won their second event in 3 events. They're definitely the #1 team again in the world. And I think the highlight of the whole tournament was that even though there were upsets earlier on, what we saw was the matchups and the draw for the bracket meant that NIP had to progressively beat better and better teams and completely get to like absolute peak status for the end of the tournament. So I think even if it was slower to start with, it ended with an absolute bang. Very exciting, and yeah, one of the best Dreamhacks I've watched for sure. So we'll sign out from here. We'll see you at the next one, Dreamhack Winter.